I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to make that breakthrough that you want to have actually come into your life in an easy way, in an effortless way. Because the claim that I'm going to share with you right off the bat before we get into this video is that breaking through is not difficult, but thinking about breaking through is difficult. Fearing about breaking through is difficult. Once you've actually broken through, it's not hard. Thinking and fearing about breaking through to that next level is hard. Breaking through and actually breaking through, once you've broken through, it's easy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how to embody this energy of already breaking through so that you don't have to create unnecessary resistance and simply shift into that person that you prefer to be and break through into that new reality. So this is going to be how to make having a breakthrough effortless and easy. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to join my brand new coaching program that's specifically designed to help you let go of the old self and shift into that new reality permanently, then hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation to see if you're a good fit. There are limited spots available, so if you do want to be part of this brand new coaching program, be sure to apply as soon as possible. Now let's just get right into this video. Now the first thing that I want to share with you in terms of how to make having a breakthrough actually effortless and easy is, number one, I want you to understand that humans are driven by two things, in my opinion. And I don't know if this is an opinion or if this is just something that I become conscious of, but in my opinion, this is the truth of existence. This is just what I see. This is just what I see. You can feel free to disagree with this, but this is what I see. So I'm going to share with you what I see. You can see what you see. This is what I see. I see that humans are driven by two things. Number one, the pain of where they are and the vision in terms of where they want to go. Now, this is critical to understand because we are never going to break through unless we become conscious that creating what we're already creating is more painful in comparison to if we were to become that new version of ourselves. Now, I'm going to say that one more time. If you don't become conscious that what you're already creating in your life is causing you more pain in comparison to as if you were to become that person and give yourself permission to see that you are, to give yourself permission to be that person right now, unless there's a realization, the transformation has not truly begun. The transformation begins when a person realizes that creating the same reality over and over and over is getting boring and repetitive, and they're no longer learning anything from that. And the only thing that they're learning from that is that they don't need to be creating that, and that they need to create that for as long as they need to, then to realize that they don't want to create that anymore. That's the lesson. The last lesson they need to learn within that realm of consciousness is that you don't need to learn this anymore and that you can let go whenever you want. But see, most people persist, and that's fine. But eventually the person has to see that, wait a second, whatever it is that I'm doing, whatever area of your life you're talking about, whether it's in regards to your health, whether it's in regards to your business, whether it's in regards to your relationships, there's something in our life that is creating pain for us, but we're not willing to look at that because we believe that it's serving us. When if you look at it from sort of like a higher perspective, it's pretty obvious that it's not actually serving us and that it's, causing us a lot of problems and it's shooting us in the foot. Really, it's like a self sort of sabotaging behavior. Why do people do this? Why would you self-sabotage yourself? Well, nobody would self-sabotage themselves on purpose, right? You wouldn't consciously self-sabotage yourself. So that's important to consider. So it's not like I'm recording this video to attack anybody. You wouldn't consciously self-sabotage yourself. So why do we do it? Why is it that nobody would consciously self-sabotage themselves, but yet they still keep sabotaging themselves? Well, I'll tell you right now, because there's not a conscious realization that whatever vibrational pattern that person is embodying is not serving them anymore. There's still a belief in the mind that it's benefiting them. Now, even if they tune into their energetic frequency in their body and the actuality of the situation, there might not be any benefits anymore. But there's a fear of accepting the actuality of the situation. And so the mind is consistently trying to perpetuate something, not willing to simply look at what it's creating. And it's funny because all we need to do is just see what we're creating. My claim is that once we become conscious that we're creating suffering, that's what I personally realized, is that I was creating suffering for myself vibrationally, the moment that there's a realization that creating suffering is a choice, you will not create it any longer, right? I remember in one of Sadhguru's interviews, somebody was asking him, hey Sadhguru, why did you let go of one of your businesses? And his answer was, I didn't let it go. The thing just fell out of my life. It just fell away. And so that's a really good answer that he gave there, because it goes to show that you don't need to really force yourself to let go of anything that you don't want to let go of. You know, you're a free being. Do whatever you want. Okay, you want to hold on, then hold on. But what I encourage you to do is to notice the pain that that's causing you. You see, you want to hold on to that relationship that you know is not serving you, or you know, that job that you know is not serving you. No, you know what? Do what you want. I'm not here to control you, but I'm going to invite you to say, is it causing you pain? Is it causing you problems? Is it helping you to go where you want to go? See, these are the questions that people don't want to ask themselves, but these are the questions that are stopping people from breaking through to the higher level, because they don't want to admit to themselves that things are not working. But if you're willing to admit that to yourself, that maybe something's not working, or that something's not potentially in the exact way that it should be, then what's going to happen is that unless there's a full realization of that, there's still going to be like a perpetuating of that same reality over and over and over, because there's a belief that it has to be created. There's a belief that it needs to be embodied, when the truth is it doesn't need to be embodied. But of course, that person comes up with a story in terms of why it should be. And so, of course, what I encourage you to realize if you're watching this video is to ask yourself, what is it in your life that maybe you're afraid to look at, that you're afraid to not own as a part of yourself? Because everything is a choice. So if you're creating pain, and like, listen, some things are not within your control, some things are. But where are you creating pain for yourself unnecessarily? By choosing something, or sending out some vibrational signal, or judging somebody, or making a choice and saying yes where you don't want to say yes, or being in a like what are you amplifying that is within your control, within your attention? Of course, not to resist anything as good or bad, but what are you feeding as as something that you don't want to be experiencing? And so the vision of where you want to go is important, but I'm going to say it one more time. The breakthrough happens when you see that creating the past over and over again, or doing that same habit, is going to be worse for you than in terms of where you're going. That's the breakthrough. Once that is realized, then it's like, Francis, but what about the next 6 months? And then, but Francis, I'm already, fed up with my reality, and this is not really what I need. No, it is what you need. Because if you truly saw that reality as painful, you would stop creating it, isn't it? Isn't that what it is? You can tell me all you want. You can tell anybody on the planet, like, no, Francis, I'm not saying this is you, by the way, but like anybody on the planet. It's like, no, it's like, I really want to create this. And it's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And, but I'm still not breaking through. No, but then it's not true, because you would already have been giving yourself permission to fully be a healthy person, for example, if you were truly seeing that not being a healthy person was not going to be beneficial to you or the other, right? For me, it's like, I realized not being a healthy person is not helping me or the world. So it's like, at some point you got to give yourself permission to be healthy, to be in full vibration. Surprise, surprise, suffering doesn't help you or anybody else. Okay, it doesn't help you. When I saw that, well, then why am I going to create those vibrations in my life? It just makes no sense. It's not rocket science, people. It's just about seeing what's working and what's not working. That's all it is. When you see what's not working, it falls out of your life effortlessly and naturally. And those are the people that discipline themselves to stay consistently, because they know that there's no going back to the older reality. What is it that drives a person to stay consistent? They know that going back is going to cause them more pain. They have enough wisdom to see within themselves that that is not going to be a wise choice to make, because it's going to make my life a lot worse. That's when you transform, when you know that. That's what's going to make you consistent over time for many months, many years, every single day, to put in that work on your dream or whatever it is that you want to create. Now, number two, what I want to share with you is make it harder not to change. Okay, make it harder not to change. See, if you believe that changing is hard, again, you're still believing that where you are is going to be more beneficial than where you want to go. Now, there's nothing wrong with where you are, but where you want to go is definitely going to be a lot better than where you are. And if you know that, then it's important to, here's a reframe. If you're going to stay where you are, is that going to be worse for you than where you would go in terms of the more abundance? Not from a space of, saying it's bad or good. You don't want to be coming from a space of resistance. It's never from a space of resistance. This is not about saying anything's good or bad. Okay? That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is not about saying that the pain is bad, okay? It's the opposite. The pain is, you're allowed to feel pain. You're allowed, you know, it's validated. You're fully heard. But do you want to keep creating it? That's the question. There's nothing wrong with creating pain, but is that what you really want? That's the question that we want to be asking ourselves. There's nothing wrong with judging anybody. There's nothing wrong with, you know, creating a reality that's going to be causing suffering for you others. There's nothing wrong with any of this. I'm not judging you. I'm just asking you a question. Is that what you really want? So what you want to do is make it harder not to change. Make it so there's no alternative. You know when I changed in my life? When there was no alternative. Any transformation that I've had in my money health, in my money life, in my health life, in my relationships, in my romantic relationships, in any aspect of my life, you want to know when that transformation happened? When I realized that there's no alternative and that I'm not going to be creating this stupid reality any longer. Now, stupid is a powerful word, but there's no resistance. It's like I see it, I hold in unconditional love, but I don't want that reality. That's not what I want. I don't need to create a new reality, but I want a new reality, right? You're allowed to want that. So make it so that it's harder not to change, okay? If you don't change, that it leaves you in a position where it's actually your life is worse. I don't care how you do it. Francis, how do I do that? I don't care how. Ask yourself enough questions, read more content, do more meditations, but do whatever you have to do to see that that reality is just going to be not conducive to anybody's growth, yourself and the rest of the planet included. And if you're creating all these vibrations that are not making you feel how you want to feel, then I'm going to tell you that's not helping anybody. That's not helping no one, all right? And that's not helping no one. Life is constructed in a way where if you suffer, it actually doesn't help anybody else. If you feel good, it actually is helping everybody else. That's how life is actually constructed. So you want to be connected to your energy system in a way that's going to be beneficial for the all. Now, number 3 is going to be a little bit of a, so I'm not going to say in opposition to number 2, but this is going to be a very critical point. Number 3 is to notice that when you're creating that change, when you're being that version of who you want, when you've given yourself permission to break through, and by the way, once you're being that version of you and you've given yourself permission to become who you want to be, that also is a deeper, an even deeper breakthrough. The first breakthrough is to see that you don't want to create pain anymore. The second breakthrough is to see that you can choose to not do that and then choose to create what you want instead from that space of abundance. Now, once that's realized, once you start giving yourself permission to be who you truly want to be, and you start noticing how that's actually working, I want you to notice that as much as possible. I want you to note that. Write that down. Put it in your notes, okay? Put it in your notes, or mentally tell yourself all the time that that's working. Write down all the stories of all the things that work in your life. The things that are actually benefiting your energy system, that are allowing that positive feedback loop to go higher. You want to give as much energy and attention as possible to that positive feedback loop of you stepping into a higher version of who you are. Always. There's no reason to be giving any energy to anything that's not going to be conducive to you being in your highest vibrational alignment version of you, personally for you. Because in my experience, people talk about raising your vibration and, like, you know, raising the vibration, but like, hey, high vibration is relative. High vibration for me is not going to be high vibration for you. It's absolutely relative. So what you need to do is just personally for you, note what is working energetically for you. That's the key. Don't want to copy anybody else. Not that you can't take what works from other people, but then only use that. Don't note what's not working, note what's working. And then so see, when you start doing this, when you start really seeing what's not working and then really seeing what's working, do you see how you would naturally start to make those choices that are going to lead to the breakthrough without actually forcing yourself to do anything that you don't want to be doing? Because the people that force themselves to be somebody that they don't want to be always go back to the old way of being. Always. And if they don't come back to the old way of being in 3 days, they'll come back to it in a year. And if they don't come back to it in a year, they'll come back to it in 10 years. And they'll have to work through that resistance then. Because you can't run away from your inner demons. They're going to follow you wherever you go. Okay? If you have an inner demon and resistance to something, you could move across the world. It'll find you. It'll find a way. That pain will find you. Anything that you're resisting, it'll find a way to come into your experience until you're willing to accept it and to see that you don't want to create that, because you're creating from the present moment. You go wherever you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So if you're creating suffering and you move across the world to Alaska, it's not going to matter. You're going to be in Alaska, but you're still going to be creating that suffering. So that pain's going to follow you everywhere that you go. All right? So that's the truth. That's the truth, people, is that you're the creator. So this is not location dependent. The vibrations you send out have nothing to do with the location that you're in, or the circumstances that you're in. It's about, have you taken conscious control of your vibrations? But what I want to conclude this video with is just really notice what's working and notice what's not working, and that's when the real transformation happens. And with that, I conclude this video. If you do incorporate these things that I'm sharing with you in this video, this is going to be what allows you to break through. This is what allowed me to break through. This is what allows my clients to break through. You don't break through unless this is what's happening in your life, just in my opinion. And it can come in any way. It doesn't have to be in a serious way. It can be through this video, maybe sparked some pain within you. Whether it's in a coaching call, whether it's when you're walking outside maybe and you realize something about your experience. But the key is to see that we are choosing our vibrations every single moment, and that we can choose to create something that's not working, or we can choose to create something that's working and that's actually beneficial for us and the people around us. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to be a part of my brand new coaching program that is only taking a certain amount of people, that just opened up, that's specifically designed to help you let go of that old self so that you can permanently shift into the new self, then hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for that coaching program to see if you're a good fit. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to get access to this incredibly valuable information. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube channel push the video to more people. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.